There is a lot to be learned from music theory and from the guitar in general. And in the couple years that I've been kind of teaching myself, um, I've picked up a lot of little like informational things that actually make sense to me now. And looking back, I am actually pretty satisfied with a lot of what I have sort of kind of came to understand. So one of the big things that I started off with was understanding that there is, with Western music in general, the main progression is like C, G, A, M, and F. And I say that a lot. Like, I repeat that over and over and over in my head. I usually have the same thing I say: C, G, A, M, F, G, D, E, M, C, C, E, M, A, M, and F, 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 B flat, D, M, C, D, M, B flat, F, and C. It's those different, you know, patterns, right? Those different ways of saying it. And those are the progressions, right? And so with C, G, A, M, and F, the song that kind of made me go, wait a minute, was Confession by Florida Georgia Line, right? Just right? And then when you can realize that Don't Stop Believing is da 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 da, and that's in the same wheelhouse, but it's just in a different key. And that's the thing, is you can transpose it all to the different different progressions and stuff, if you can basically understand the keys. And I think that is a fundamental thing. They there's so many advertisements and different um things online that sit there and try and go, oh, stop learning everything that you're learning right now and download this app. And it's like, stop. I'm not gonna like download this random app and then have them go sign up for this thing to do. It's like, the best way that I've found to learn is just by diving in and giving myself the enough time to understand what I'm doing. So, you know, there are a lot of songs, the majority of songs, you can kind of, take some of the chords, say, if you have, sorry, um, the major and minor scale, right? C major and A minor would be like identical to each other, right? You have C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, and then the minor scale is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, right? And then I learned a couple months ago the Mixolydian scale. If you go G Mixolydian, that would be, G, D, E, F, C. Yeah, I can't do, the alphabet in my head for some reason. But anyway, what are the chords in a seventh chord? You have the 1, 3, 5, and 7, right? So C, E, G, and B flat, D, F sharp, A, and C, right? It all just kind of, I hope this is making sense to you a little bit in some capacity. You can take, so say you have, again, we'll go back to C, G, A, M, and F. You can take the C and you can put in C major 7, or you can go C9. And what I learned a couple months ago, and I've been, sort of trying to understand, is now you can take C sharp diminished and you can put that in the place of the G, right? So when you're looking at it as like Roman numerals, 1, 6, 5, and 4, that would be C, which is the 1, G, which is the 5, 6, which is the A minor, and F, which is 4, 4 from the C. And one of the, kind of taking it another step, say you have, the basic kind of rock chords, right? You have E, A, and B. Well, when you look at that, E, A, and B, you could put in the E, A, C sharp minor, and B, and then you have, again, that's C, G, A, and F in the key of E. And when you look at the circle of fifths, right, the way I've sort of gotten myself to remember that is B, E, A, D, G, C, F, and B flat, and then B flat, E flat, A flat, G sharp, and just sitting here, it's on my mind all the time. You get some of the finger patterns, there's different plucking ways of doing things. Those I'm still working on. Some of the the scales, obviously, again, I mentioned earlier, the Aeolian and Ionian and Mixolydian. Then the other thing you start figuring out is add 9, suspended chords, again, diminished, augmented, diminished 7, and I have a Word document that I always have handy. I had stuff written down a couple months ago, but basically, let's say the song Hours by Taylor Swift, right? And then you have Surfer Girl by the Beach Boys, Broken by Seether, I See the Light, which is, from the movie Tangled, I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. I went through, hundreds of songs, over the last, I would say definitely the last, year and a half, and I went, okay, the reality of it with the majority of music is it's, roughly the same thing, right? C, G, A, M, F, C, G, D, M, F, C, F, A, M, and G, C, G, B flat, and F, which C, G, B flat, and F has more of that rock kind of or D, A, C, and G, right? E, B, D, and A. Just going down the line here, then you can look at just so many pop songs, so many country songs, they all continue this same pattern, and it's all about patterns. That's kind of what I've realized, and you need to give yourself time to learn. It's not something that's going to be in a 5-minute thing. Even with learning the electric guitar, one of the big things with that is it's a learning curve. For me, personally, it's been a big learning curve, because, one, with the scales, you have the ways you're using your fingers, and two, being able to put the chords and the scales together is, it all kind of, it has to be able to mesh together. If you take the E chord, right, as a bar chord or just as an open chord, and you're like, okay, how does that work as a scale? Well, here's the thing. If you take the E major scale and we're going to pause there.